All right. The 100th episode of Conversate After Dark. Tay, what's up with you?
Everything's great with me. I meant to go to the store and get some of those, for the birthdays when we used to
Yeah,
have when we were little.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
meant to
yeah,
buy
yeah.
out,
Yeah,
but it's okay. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Tell people they can find us.
You can find us at Conversate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD, the podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. So, Tay,
Yep.
100 episodes,
Yes.
and we're still together.
You
Uh,
haven't gotten on my nerves too bad, so I'm joking.
no, notice she said too bad. She said too
I'm
bad.
joking. You actually don't get on my nerves as much as you think you do, but it's all good.
You said as much. You're supposed to say not at all, but so hey, let's just go back. So
Okay.
when I asked you, I said, "Hey, Tay, I want to do a show that talks about sex and relationships." How close were you to telling me no? And what made you say yes? Let's do it.
Actually, my first thought was, yeah, I can do that. I've wanted to do a podcast, didn't know what I wanted to talk about. Sex is my favorite subject to talk about. Yeah, let's do it. And
Okay.
then it was like after we started planning, then it was like, hold on, my mother might see this. Do I really want to do this?
I remember that being something that was heavy on your mind. Oh man, I want to tell my mom the name of the podcast. I don't want to her to see it. I don't, and I had to appreciate where you were coming from. My parents are deceased, so my mom was judging me every morning because she she sees everything that I do and I say. But I remember that being something big for you. And I remember when we started the show, that quiet Tay. I don't want to say Tay's not shy. Tay's quiet. Um, but you were shy, and then I mean, because I've done multiple podcasts before, I know it's like, okay, it takes a learning curve. It takes you got to get comfortable with the flow with the people that you're on the show with, and just putting your opinions out there. But it didn't take long for you to get warmed up. What was it like for you when we first started? You was like, oh shit, he hit record. Like, and how did you get more comfortable with doing the show?
Um, I don't know. I guess it's just something that happened over time. Because again, talking about sex is has been one of my favorite subjects since I was younger. So that part of it wasn't a problem. Um, the like I said, the problem was for me was it was this is going out to the world. So you don't control who sees and who hears after that.
Yeah, yeah. The people that judge me the most for the show.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's people that judge me, right? But I try to live authentically. I am what I am.
Hmm.
I'm Mr. Black Power. What people call what was the thing they used to call people? Hoteps.
Oh yeah.
You even call me a hotep. I'm Mr. Hotep, but I'm also Mr. Freaking League too. And to me, I'm just like I'm not gonna if you can't accept me 100% for who I am. Yeah, I'll talk about black people, my love for black people, but I also am the one who's going to tell inappropriate jokes too. That's me 100%, and that's just how I want to live. But the people that judge me the most were my adult children.
I can see that.
My daughters are like, oh my God, girl, look at what my dad said. And my son has went back and forth talking about like parents. My son went back and forth of following me, unfollowing me. And I was like, why you keep unfollowing me, following me? He's like, you got this old overly freaked out podcast. I don't want to which if I was in his shoes, I'd probably be mortified too if I heard my dad saying something
Hmm.
I say. Well, hey, we human, right?
True, true.
Human as people. Has doing this show, has it taught you anything about yourself at all? Or has it changed you as a person? Has it made you think about things differently in any type of way?
No, because again, I've always been open.
You're supposed to be all deep, like, yes, it did.
No, I mean, because I've always been open, even if I'm not doing it. I've always been the type who's been open about at least talking about it. And I know that I noticed, at least when I was younger, people would talk to me a lot, and I think that was because I'm as open and non-judgmental. So it hasn't really changed me, or I guess it's made me more of who I am. I guess I don't know.
I'm gonna give you props and say that I'm for the better because of you. Because I always behind the scenes, I always tell Tay like, somebody says something to me like online and groups and Tay that are in, and if I see Tay like the comment, I'd be like, hold on, motherfucker, you my friend. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be liking when somebody's going against me. But I'll say that Tay has helped to make me a better man because I know that I have to, and not that I don't try to do this anyway, but I know that I have to be 100% on point because if it's something that needs to be called out, Tay's going to do that, right? Tay's like, oh, that don't mean that, or whatever. And she, I often talk about me getting on Tay's nerves. Sometimes she get on my nerves with that, with that shit. But it makes me be better, and I appreciate that because to me, I don't want people around me who are just gonna say yes and just go along with anything that I do. That's not
Yeah.
to make you better. We just did a show on Conversate with Us where we talked about Puff, right? Just he's off
Hmm.
the news right now, things that he did, and that lack of accountability, and people not wanting to say, "Hey, you're wrong. Like, you're wrong, right? Or that's not right." Um, you don't get any better. You don't get any better professionally in the craft that you're doing, and you don't get better as a
Hmm.
person. You don't get better
That's
as a person, but you don't have somebody to call you out. So I appreciate you, Tay.
true. No problem.
I appreciate you for that. What's been one of your favorite memories? I got a few, but what's one of your favorite memories about the show?
I'm not necessarily sure I have necessarily favorites, but I do have a few that kind of stand out to me.
Mhm.
The first one, I have to give props to our very first guest, Danielle, because she was
Yeah,
brave enough
for sure.
to start this journey with us.
Yeah, yeah,
So I have to give props to her for that.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Shout out to Danielle. And shout out to everybody that's in our group. When we
Mhm.
first started off, it was more of like a hot seat. We had people come on and ask questions. And the thing that I found out was that the people who were the most freakalikish, out here in these streets doing all the wild stuff, it didn't translate to the show, right? And maybe it's because, and I'm not trying to diss them. Shout out to them because they came on here and they, told their story. But I think maybe it's because it's just regular degular for them.
Mhm.
It wasn't anything sensational, but for the people who are quote unquote less out there, and when they would talk about, oh, this is my fantasy, or this is something that I've done, wow, it hit better because it's like, damn, you did that, whereas a person just like, this is just my life. It did hit the same way. So,
Yeah.
those conversations that we had with people that came on the show, and we're gonna start having more people come on, right, to the show. But I would say any of the episodes where I was able to make you like really, really laugh, like you giggle at my shit, but the one where I was talking about the dating pool and Nemo with the fucked up flipper,
Lord have mercy. Yeah, that
that
was a good one.
that was one of my favorites. Let's see, who do we have on? Michelle from
I was
Florida.
gonna say her and talking about sexual health,
Yeah,
teaching us about PrEP and the home HIV test, which I did not know was a thing.
yeah, and I really want to get her back on the show because that's
Hmm.
that's important. That's important for us to talk about. Because even at
Yeah.
this age, another one where I talk about, I said, if I'm 80 and my dick still works, I'm not wearing no condom. And I still say
Right.
I still say that. But
Oh gosh.
probably why my kids was like, nah, you're doing too much.
I mean, you at the 80, you almost out of here anyway. So if something happened,
I'm at 40. Did I say that? Fuck it. I'm at 48. I'm trying to enjoy it all. So that's why I got to make sure, like, whoever I'm with, like, you got to be making good decisions because, I want to feel it all.
Yeah.
So we got to get tested. We got to do all the things. And I think the quote that we got from Michelle was what? Wrap it before you tap it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrap it before you tap it if you're out in these streets like that. But I think a big piece is our audience really helped with the show, like with the live comments,
Hmm.
us being able to go from there and the things that they've shared. Us adding that piece to the show was a real big addition. Real big addition.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And you know what? I just jumped all the way into it. We didn't even do no damn icebreaker.
It was cool. I was thinking it's 100 if we go just roll with it.
Ah, man, you're supposed to hold me accountable. You got an icebreaker? Come on.
I do have one.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I,
What
I
makes
just got excited about it, the 100th episode. My bad.
I get it, I get it. What makes a sexual experience satisfying for you?
Her having multiples. That's just it. I'm a pleaser. And there is a level of like one of the things that we found out about each other, well, I found out about myself. You remember we talked about BDSM, and I said, "Man, I'm a
Mhm.
freak," but then we took the test, and it was like, "Nah, dog, you vanilla." But I think that for me, what I've learned through talking with different women that I've been with, because I'm a pleaser, but because of the way I want to please the women that I'm with, there's a level of dominance there, right? Because it's like, okay, I got you to this point, and I'm gonna keep you there as long as I want you there. And I've learned that about myself through the conversations that we've had on this show. So to me, that's the most important thing for me in a sexual encounter is my ability to make sure that she has a wonderful experience every time. Now I ain't saying that I do that every time, but if you look at my Yelp score, it's pretty high.
Okay.
What about you?
What makes it satisfying for me? Um, number one, I have to say this because it's me. I have to say length of time. I know that's not a popular answer, but that's what makes it satisfying for me. But even if I'm with someone who may not have the longest time for me, as long as they can do other things to keep it going, like you have hands, you have mouth, you have toys that can keep the experience going. Um, and I like people who can keep it fun and interesting. Like sex doesn't have to be serious. Like the movies might make it seem like it can be fun. Like if you're with someone who you enjoy their company, you can keep it fun. And I'm a pleaser too, so if I can please, that's another thing that makes it satisfying for me.
I think another thing that I've embraced on this show, and you helped me to embrace that, is that I am a toxic ass person. Now, I don't think I'm a bad. I don't think being toxic has to be bad. Maybe, but I'm a
It's
Pisces,
kind of in the definition of the word.
but it can be fun too.
Okay.
While it lasts, right? Um, but I learned I kind of embrace it because I don't see it as bad because I don't ever see myself as like leaving a woman like totally like damn this motherfucker just dogged me all the way out or he just
Hmm.
took me all the way through the ringer. Now we may have some emotional ups and downs, right? Because I find that when you're like super passionate, like I could be, that it could just be all the way in and then it
Hmm.
flames all the way out. And I'm trying not to be as toxic as I used to be, but I am that I
Oh Lord. Speaking of that, another episode that sticks out to
am.
me. We've
I know
had
where you're
people,
going. I know where
yeah,
you're
we've had people from all walks of life as guests. And the time we had the pastor on, she was anonymous, but she opened my eyes because but for her, all of my pastors have been married, so technically well spiritually they're legal to do what they do, but to have someone come on who's single and a pastor and to talk the way she did was eye-opening. And
Yeah,
as somebody who grew up a church kid, that I'm still not sure how I feel about it, but you know me, I don't judge. Do whatever you do.
shout out to her for coming on the show. But that was that was episode where like she would say certain things that would go right up to the line where you would think like, is a pastor saying this? And
Right.
she was anonymous, so she was off camera. So whenever she walked up to that line, I was like, oh shit, the lightning. And you remember, I kept doing it. And I forgot all about that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That was something else. But shout out to her for coming on the show because she was
Mhm.
she was about it, right? She was like, I
Right.
can I can live for the Lord. And if I got to be the freak of the week, that's what I'm gonna do. I was hey, this is tough. This is tough out here. But
Mhm.
yeah, man. I'm looking forward to continuing the show because I think, we started off and like I said, it was like a hot seat. We asking, have you done this? And what's your favorite position? And blah, 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 blah. And I think that we've really transitioned into a show that can hit upon those topics. But other than just sex, we talk about relationships and we talk about, you know, understanding the other side. So like, I'm
Mhm.
representing the men, you're representing the women. And, the show is Conversate After Dark. And there's a lot of people who are like, what do you mean conversate? Conversate not a word. First of all, shut up. Second of all, fuck you. And third of all, conversate is communicate, converse, and relate. That's where we came up with the title Conversate. So when Tay and I are talking and I give my perspective, she gives her, and we challenge each other, it's my hope, and I think that we're doing a good job of this, that people can listen to us and be like, okay, well, next time when I'm dealing with my girl, I probably need to think of this and approach this situation in this way,
Mhm.
vice versa. So I think that we are doing a good job of promoting healthy relationships between Black men and women. And let me clarify, I say it all the time. We say it all the time. No, Tay and I are not in a relationship, but it's still a perfect example of how a Black man and a Black woman could be platonic and talk about these things, right?
Mhm.
And still get the message of love, honor, and respecting one another out there.
Right. That's true. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. What do you want to see us do in the future? Anything you want to see us do with Conversate? I know we got to do some more live episodes. We had one and from Columbia. We're gonna do a
Mhm.
couple in DC. Might have to get Tay to Dallas where I'm at. Do some stuff. I want us to do a live episode from a swingers club. You think we could do that?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
That it'd be kind of hard to do, right? Maybe we do it like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
we live and direct from Colette's here in Dallas. Don't ask me how I know the name.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah.
anyway, what you see us doing in the future? Next
I
couple
see us
episodes.
uh getting back to having more guests. That's kind of how we started. We got off from that, which and I actually enjoyed just you and I, but having more guests every now and then with who can add different points of view from you and I. Maybe not necessarily interviewing them the way we were, but having them integral into the conversation
Yeah,
more so.
yeah. Like we had Dr. Tori on the episode,
Right. Right.
expertise and different people with their expertise levels, like how that
Hmm.
plays a part into relationships.
Right.
I
Right.
think that would be definitely a good thing for us to do for sure.
Hmm.
For sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I really enjoy the show. I enjoy being able to talk freely in the way that I do. I mean, because people that know me tell you, my personality here is my personality outside the show too. I'm
Hmm.
probably a little bit more wild off the show because I'm like I still got to work,
Right.
right? But um, I just appreciate the opportunity to express myself in this way and to still be able to be a benefit to people. Because I think there's shows out there that are salacious. Like you could be salacious, you could, just really be about, TNA or what have you. But at the end of the day, I want to be involved with something that's meaningful. I
Mm-hmm.
think,
Mm-hmm.
what we do is meaningful. Now, eventually, the audience was going to grow. It's going to keep growing. And the things that we're doing, the importance of what we're doing is going to be shown to the masses. And I just want to continue down this road. As long as I don't get on Tay's nerves too much when she ready to quit. Have you ever thought about quitting because I got on your nerves, Tay?
No, because like I said, you don't get on my nerves as much as you think you do.
I think it's because I'm a sensitive Pisces, and so
I think that's what it is.
any type of and Tay's a hardcore Capricorn, so those styles don't always mesh. They don't always mesh, but
True.
hey,
Yes.
think you have something for us to talk about, right?
Yes. So, it's our 100th episode and it's the end of a year.
Okay.
So Google puts out, their most asked questions. And one item they put out was the most searched sex questions of this year.
Hmm.
So I don't think you'll be able to guess, but do you want to try to guess what some of those? I'll give you the top five questions.
Okay. Um, Probably something to do with anal.
Nope.
What?
Nope.
I thought people would really be Googling that to see, like, okay, how do I do it to where it's less painful? How do I approach my partner to discuss wanting to do it? That's not one.
Nope.
All right, what's number five?
Number five is when can you have sex after a C-section?
Oh, what?
That's what I say. You might not be able to guess the
I
top
thought,
five.
well, you would think that the doctor's going to tell you that. Why are you Googling that?
Exactly. Like, yeah, there's another one on here.
Yeah,
Um,
shouldn't your doctor be like, hey, listen, you
yeah.
know, chill out until this date. Like I know y'all want to get back in the saddle, but you got 4 to 6 weeks before y'all can do something. That's okay.
Right. Actually, the number one question is another one that's like, why aren't you asking the doctor this question? Why are you coming to Google? But we'll get there when we get there.
Okay, so if you're talking about doctor, I would say something to deal with STIs or STDs. Like, why?
Actually, no.
No, I think like what? Why does my penis look like this? So if I see it look like this, what does it mean?
No,
No.
actually, that's not it either. Mm-mm.
Okay, what's number four?
Number four, how often do married couples have sex? Now, I can see this because, somebody who may be scared of getting married because you hear that the sex life kind of wanes once you get married, or a married couple or married person trying to figure out if the sex I'm having is average or should I be having more, should I be having less? So I could see that question being one.
And as somebody who has been married, and from talking to other married people, that is a major thing.
Hmm.
Um, I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were talking about their relationship, with their spouse, and not knowing how to, what the future holds, and they were just talking about. I still feel like they love me, but I don't feel loved in the way that I want to be loved. And
Hmm.
they were talking about the things that them and their spouse are going through. So finally, I asked the question because I remember when I was married. Excuse me, somebody asked me this, and it was like, how often are y'all having sex? And when I asked that question, they just kind of looked at me, and I was like, tell the truth. When's the last time y'all had sex? And it had been months,
Hmm.
months. And I was like, well, how long this been going on? And I got that blank look again. And, sex once or twice a year. And that happens.
Yeah.
That happens. Like y'all, I mean, some people say y'all just turn into roommates, or maybe sex doesn't become as important. But I feel that if everyone is healthy and able, sex is very important because it helps you keep that connection.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't heal everything. It doesn't solve all the problems, But that connection is important because when you become less connected, it becomes easier to cuss your partner out.
Yeah.
It becomes easier to be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep on the couch or I'll sleep in the guest room. It
It
becomes
becomes easier to get that roommate feeling because if you're not having sex, you know.
right. It becomes easier to take that person for granted.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage people, hey, listen, y'all gotta have sex. I saw on some documentary about Black love. I think it was on TV1 back in the day, where this one lady was like, no, we have to do it at least 3 times a week. I think she said 3 times. It might have been two. And like she has like it set in her phone,
Mm-hmm.
like a task to do. Like, have you had sex this week? And it's like, oh, we haven't done here. Come here real quick. Let's knock this out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of like a regimented way of looking at it, but she was like, it's that important. And so when I went into that point where my marriage became sexless, and sexless doesn't mean you don't have sex at all, but if you have sex 3 times a year, that's a sexless marriage,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I recognize the importance. So, I want to promote people staying together because at this age, it's tough out here. It's tough. It's tough to find somebody that's going to love you the way you want to be loved,
Mm-hmm.
where y'all going to be compatible. And yeah, you got to have sex. But I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Let me guess again.
Okay.
Uh, okay. So let me change my frame of thinking. How do I ask for an open marriage? That's one of the questions.
No.
That's what? What's number three?
Number three is then this is an age-old question. Where is a woman's G spot?
Okay. Well, the good thing about that is that guys, well, I'm gonna assume that there are guys that are Googling this, but I'm sure there's some women too that probably don't know what
Yeah.
a G spot is either.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one thing I've learned
yeah.
over the years is that a lot of I don't know if it's the school system, I don't know if it's the parents, but or a lot of women don't know their own, you know, biology and anatomy or whatever you want to call it.
You know what I was thinking? I remember in our group, um, there's a guy that asked a question, a ask conversate question, and it was something about okay. So the girl that said, "Well, the cookie factory is shut down," and it was a question: does that mean that she had a hysterectomy? Does that mean that she's on birth control? Whatever, right? And the conversation went into a woman's body, and a lot of women were like shaming the men because they didn't know. And I'll be honest with you, I'm one of those guys. I don't know how women's biology
Mhm.
works 100%. If I was given a test, I might like. I know the uterus is a thing. I know the fallopian tubes are a thing, and the cervix. I know the terminology, but like the 100% describe like how it works. I don't even think dudes really know about how their body works. They just know like we got nuts to dig, we nut, and
Mhm.
she gonna get pregnant. But um, they definitely ain't teaching about the G spot in school.
Right.
I think that was a conversation we had on the show. Should
Yeah.
that type of conversation be happening in school, or should it just be strictly clinical, biological? This is how you do it. This is how pregnancy happens. This is how STIs happen. This is all you need to know. And I think
Mhm.
you were like, maybe they should talk about G spots. Did you
I
say
think
that?
this should be talked about everything. I mean, if you have to make it clinical, by the book, the exact, scientific names for everything, good. But at least the education is getting out there. Because you said the women were shaming the men, but there are a lot of women out here who don't know. I was just hearing something recently. I don't know if it was a just a somebody from who hosts a podcast or like somebody famous or something was happening and she didn't know, well, the way she was describing how women urinate was completely off. Like like it was completely, I'm like, what are the school, like I learned that in fifth grade. Sex ed in fifth grade. Like how do you not know how you use the bathroom. Like I can't.
They
Like it's
teach.
just.
I
And this
mean,
was a
well, hold
woman.
on. I'm 100% ignorant.
Okay.
I remember because it's a state thing, right? The school systems differ by state, and
Hmm.
where you grew up, I ain't gonna put you out there like that. Um, so education is different, right, from school district to school district. I
True.
don't remember them separating the boys from the girls to be specific about their different body types. I don't remember that. It could have happened, but I don't remember. But do they teach y'all? Like, I remember as a dude, I was like, don't it all come out the same hole?
But
And
it
they was like, no,
doesn't.
they was like, no, fool, it don't. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. And that's what this woman who was talking, she didn't know that about herself. And she was, I think she was talking, she was either talking to, I think she was talking to a guy, and she was trying to shame him for asking the question of how does it work, and she was giving him the wrong information. So that's why I say women, there are a lot of women out here who don't know where the G spot is, who don't know the, who don't know cervix from a vagina, from a vulva, from a who don't know all of that stuff. So
don't.
yeah,
But correct me if I'm wrong. Shouldn't your mama teach you something like that too?
that too. That's why I say I don't know if we need to blame the school system or the parents or what. I don't know. But yeah, it's getting lost somewhere because it's not just the men. I'm sure it's not just men who are Googling this.
And what's crazy is I said on the show before, like any woman who I brought to climax before I was 37, 38, um, it was sheer luck. It's sheer luck because I had no idea. You know about if you're giving cunnilingus, to focus on the clit or whatever. That's for most people that's easy. I've heard that
Hmm.
some guys that's evasive for them too, which I just can't imagine. But I'm not a woman. But um, it wasn't until there was a influential brother in this group that I was in that broke it down. Hey, this is where you can more than likely find the G spot. And you know who this influential brother is. You know who
Yeah.
I'm talking about. This is where you can find it. This is how it feels. So this is what you should be looking for. Then, that's the G spot. There's the A spot. There's the U spot, right? There's these
Mhm.
different places. And, knowledge is power. So once you equip with that knowledge, like, oh, damn, goes back to me being a pleaser. All right, let me just work and let me figure it out. I got it. I got it. So it'd be better if we had that knowledge, but how many guys are out here like, okay, let me really please my woman versus like, let me get this nut.
Right. That's true.
Because if you're a woman, if you can't even do it yourself or know how to do it yourself, how you expecting somebody else to know?
Exactly.
Because I guarantee you,
Yeah.
us as guys, if like you giving us a hand job, whatever, a guy ain't got no problem tell you like, do it like this.
Right. Right.
and
Which
it
is what.
and
Which is one
it
of the
ain't no
reasons.
attack on a woman's ego or
Hmm.
her self-worth. But if for some people, if a woman says, do it like this, you're like, well, damn, who you trying to get me to be like him? What you trying to say? Whatever. For me,
Right.
tell me so I can do what I gotta do. But go ahead, I cut you off.
No, no, I'm sorry, because you were talking. I'll cut you off. Which is one of the reasons why I am an advocate for women masturbating, because if you know how to please yourself, you're better able to tell your partner how to please you. So, and if you can please, if you can tell him how to please you, then everybody's being pleased all around. If y'all are be able to tell each other, it works for the best. So,
I remember being with the young lady, and she's so sweet, so cool, and we went there, and like I said, Tay, my Yelp review pretty so I'm doing my thing, and it just ain't thinging. So afterwards, I asked for feedback. I was like, "What? I mean, did you enjoy yourself?" Yeah, I did. It didn't really seem like it. I did though. Would you be honest with me? Because now everybody's like Tay. Tay was like Tay is like, I don't believe in faking orgasms. So I asked her. I said, would you be honest with me? She's like, yeah. So I started asking more questions, and it got to be a point where her feelings got hurt, and I wasn't trying to hurt her feelings. She was like, "Well, damn, you made me feel like I don't measure up." And I was like, "No, that's not the case. I'm just trying to understand better so it could be a better experience for both of us."
Hmm.
And I started the question. I said, "Well, do you masturbate? Do you know how to do it?" No. I was like, "Well, we got a big job ahead of us.
Yeah.
we got a big job ahead of us, you know." But like some guys, they don't even like involving toys in the relationship.
Yeah. Which is, I won't say it's sad. I would just say it's,
And shout out to
they don't
Yarnell who
understand.
came on the show to talk about toys. Remember?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Shout out to Yarnell, but go ahead.
Exactly. I won't say it's sad, but it's just they don't understand that it can be a help. You don't have to do all of the work if you have help. And then sometimes it'll make it easier, you know, because a vibrator can get me there like that, where versus a guy. But the journey is part of the pleasure with a man, so I don't mind.
So I heard that, the rose is a big deal. And there's always these memes that come out and be
Hmm.
like, that rose can't hit your cervix, or that rose can't do whatever, whatever. And there was this meme that I saw where this girl said, "God damn, the rose didn't even give you a chance to moan. It's that quick."
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
shared it with my
Depends on
homegirl.
what you like, but yeah.
I shared it with my homegirl who she's a big fan of the rose. And she was like, they exaggerating, but they ain't exaggerating by much. Um, but she also said there's a new toy called the lemon.
Hmm.
You saw that or you heard about that?
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, she says it's called the lemon. I think she said it wasn't as good as the rose, but listen, I like them old school chicks that, pull out that damn Hitachi wand. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pull out hardware.
And that's why I said it depends on you on what you like because the rose and a vibrator, which a wand is, they do two totally different things. So it depends on what the woman likes versus which one she'll like better.
Yeah, because the rose is suction, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So
Hmm.
all right. So that was
That was number three.
number three was it,
Yeah.
what was it again? What was number three again?
Where's a woman's G spot? Number two, you're not gonna get at all.
Okay, well let me just say. All right, let me try. Let
Okay.
me try. Um, okay. So we're not like talking about positions or things like that. Uh how many partners is too many?
No.
Okay.
Number two is what is gooning? Now,
What?
I had to look this one up. So
Gooning?
gooning, gooning,
Like
gooning,
owners?
somewhat, but gooning,
Okay.
goon and gooning. So apparently, it's the Gen Z version of edging, or it's what they're calling edging. Pretty much, when I looked up the definition of it, what it was is edging. So masturbating your partner to the point just before they climax and then stopping. That's edging. That's all that is.
Why is that number two though? That just seems
I
y'all
guess for the Gen Zs, I guess must be a big thing. So they must be Googling
y'all raising some freaky ass kids because I didn't learn about edging until I was in my 40s.
it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You edging never been a thing for you?
No, but I have
Tay, Tay,
suggested
Tay,
it.
Tay said she said, "Fuck it, I just get right to
I
it."
mean, actually, yeah. Now, I did suggest this to someone who had a thing about coming too soon, edging, because how I heard about edging was that it's supposed to make you last longer. That's one of the benefits of it.
Is that like semen retention shit?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So
And
edging
I,
is
and I
supposed to
shouldn't have
like,
said it like I shouldn't have said it like that, but every time I see people talk about semen retention. You ever see like the people that just be like in the moon and the stars and the
Yeah.
trees and all that old shit? It always seems like those type of people that talk about semen retention, and they just seem
Hmm.
to be like way over my head with it.
Right, right.
I'm just carnal, like, yeah, like I have edge though. And that could be fun. That could be a dope experience. Never done it with somebody though. It's always been solo that I've done
Yeah.
the edging thing. But yeah, semen routine. I mean, that's somebody, we talk about the future of the show. I definitely would like to get somebody to come on and talk about that. Uh,
Hmm.
and then I still want to get somebody who is same gender loving, especially a guy. I think that would be hilarious, yeah, hilarious and informative at the same time. But yeah,
Yeah.
Goonie. Okay, well, I didn't look at that in urban. Let me look. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I haven't done this in a long time. It's it's funny. I was putting in Urban Dictionary. I'm
Hmm.
gonna type in the web address, some other shit. Urban pops up.
Oh gosh. What did you look up for on your phone?
Look. That's why I had to learn. Like, hey, don't put your phone out. Type in this because I did that one time in front of a client, and it came up.
Oh Lord.
Thankfully, he was like from like Europe or something, so he laughed, but I didn't have to worry about seeing him again. Uh, let's see what Urban Dictionary is. Gooning, the act of doing a little trolling, doing some kind of Dionysian expression, either online or in real life. That don't match what you're saying.
Mm-mm.
And then they said gooning, seeing how many crab rangoons you can fit in your ass. What?
I've never heard of that.
Uh, gooning, the act of messing around inside a public store, acting stupid. Um, yeah, there's several different definitions of gooning on urban I almost gave away the website. Urbandictionary.com. But yeah, that's crazy. Gooning.
Yeah.
Y'all raising some little freaks out there. Okay. All right, so you kind of gave a teaser on the number one. So we know it involves the medical. How can you tell if I'm pregnant? No, no, no,
No.
that would be it. Mm, it involves a doctor. And you said the number STIs, number STDs, huh?
Nope.
I'm at a loss. Go ahead.
Why do I bleed during sex? Now, again, I could see someone Googling that, but to me, it seems like that's something you should ask your doctor. Like, because if it's not your time of the month, then you really need to be seeing a doctor. Like, what's going on?
Hey, look. I ain't mad at him because I then went down the WebMD rabbit hole to where it's like, why do I have some mucus in my chest? And next thing you know, I got mesothelioma. I went down the whole damn rabbit hole. So I can see, especially because people are scared to go to the doctor.
Yeah, yeah,
Because they don't want to hear if they don't tell me then it's not real. So if I can Google it, then I can just fix it on my own and go away. But yeah, that's kind of serious, ain't it?
yeah, yeah. I would think so.
Uh,
Yeah, because either the person you're with is doing something they shouldn't be doing, or there may be something medically wrong with you that you need to see a doctor about.
maybe fucking with them heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? They got what what one of our guests say? It was the thing he kept saying. I got a double digit dick.
Mhm.
That in my testimony, but my Yelp rating is still high. So he said that a couple. I said, boy, you need to go ahead and just trademark that. I got a double digit dick. I don't care what no man says. So okay. Okay, yeah, that could definitely lead to some. I'm assuming some bleeding during sex, though.
Yeah, yeah, I would assume so.
Mm.
There were four others that didn't make the top five, but they were, one of them is close to something you said earlier. How do I have sex?
I can see that. Kids,
Yeah.
young people having access to Google cell phones and stuff. I can see that. What else?
Yeah. Is masturbation normal? I can see that.
Yes.
Yeah. How long should sex really last?
You better hope Tay isn't working behind the scenes because she gonna have your feelings hurt. She could be like 4 hours. She'd be like, God damn, I thought I was doing something with my little 10 minutes. 10 minutes, good fucking day.
Well, I mean, that's what I've heard is average is about 10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes, some good fucking.
And they're including like foreplay and stuff. They're not including just, the intercourse. So
Yeah, that's good fucking. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. We
That's what
definitely.
that's what the experts say. I don't say that, but that's what the experts say is average.
All right, what was the other one?
The last one is, what is ethical non-monogamy? I could see people Googling that because
I no, I
it's a
said that
new
one though.
phrase. Yeah, but it wasn't one of the top five.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because that's becoming, you and I have talked about our experience, with that, and it's
Mhm.
becoming, you think it's becoming more acceptable?
Yes and no. You still have a large percentage of the population who is traditional and will always be traditional and will always want everyone else's sex life to be traditional. But you do have a lot of people who are experimenting, even if it's not something that they will stay in, they're willing to experiment to see if this is something that they might want to try. So,
Yeah, I think a good way to say it is while it may not be more accepted, people are more comfortable talking about them doing it.
right, right.
So people are not going to accept it because, like, for the reason you put out there, but definitely more people are talking about, yeah. And what's surprising is I see a lot more women offering it to their husbands. I had a
I
friend,
can see that.
she was like, "Yeah, I brought it up, and he was like, hell no. But she was just like, hey, look, man, we kind of in a rut. Let's add something to it. Now, some people say like once that's the last straw. Once you open your marriage up, it's a wrap. It's just a matter of
It
time.
it can be, but I think it depends on the people involved, and I think it depends on your communication. Because if you already have problems, non-monogamy is just going to make them worse. And
Mhm.
if you're lying, if you're the type who's not open with your partner, not open relationships can mess it up. So, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was something I was going to say and I forgot. It was something about the ethical non-monogamy and I can't remember. Never mind. Guess it wasn't
No,
important.
no, no. I mean, it'll come back to you, but I think that
Oh,
oh,
I know what it was.
but
It's a big misconception that the women are only doing it for the men that they're with or to keep the man that they're with. That's a big misconception about women opening up their relationships. A lot of times it is because that's what she wants. It's not necessarily because she's trying to hold on to her man for all she can or he really wants it, so she's just giving in. That's now sometimes that is the case, but that's not it's a misconception that that's always the case.
yeah, yeah. I definitely think that for whatever reason, the woman is not just doing it to please her man or whatever, because that's like the first thing. Because I saw there was a I don't know if it was a TV show or maybe just like a YouTube series where this young black, woman had her husband and she was like, I want to add a girlfriend,
Hmm.
uh, you know, for me and to take some of the weight off of me so that, somebody else can be a part of this or what have you. And for whatever reason, she sat down with her mom. I think it was her mom, her auntie, somebody else. And then when she said it, they immediately attacked her.
Yeah.
They immediately attacked her, tried to shame her. And I was like, damn, man, like I understood it because I understand how some black families are.
Hmm.
But I felt sorry for her because like she was trying to live in her truth. Now I think the mistake that she made was trying to get their acceptance. You knew beforehand.
Yeah.
You knew beforehand, and maybe it was just because like, hey, listen, we about to be on TV, so I'm going to just tell y'all. Um,
Yeah.
maybe that's what it was, but I think I would just be like, just live your life, and everybody got to know because they're never going to accept it. They're never
Right.
going to accept it. They're always going to look at you crazy. I'm sure there's people that look at me crazy, because of my stance on monogamy. Um, but I can only be me, and
Yeah.
and for me, however you approach ethical non-monogamy, it's the ethical part is what matters the most.
Right. Exactly.
Being a person of honor, that's what matters the most. So that's why I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but the thing that killed me was when like people get in and then they get out. Like you still
Hmm.
think you in, Tay, or are you out?
Well, I haven't, it's been years since I've been in a relationship. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends on the person if I ever get into another relationship, it would depend on a lot of factors. I'm not ruling it out, but um, it's not at the forefront of for me anymore. But I'm not ruling it out though.
Yeah, you could be monogamous.
I have been. That's why I say
Yeah.
I can flow
I
between the
mean,
two because I've experienced both.
after the door was open, you went back to monogamy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let me ask you, would you or wouldn't you?
One more. I have one more favorite past show
Okay.
when we had the author Michael and he sang on the show.
Yeah. Michael Dock, the Wednesday,
Yes, yes.
the Wednesday gentleman. Yeah.
Yes.
And the funny thing when he was talking about, he was trying to be all allegorical about women giving head. And he was talking
Hmm.
about if you want to lick the comb, and he like demonstrated it. And I said, hey man, don't you ever again do that. Even he had to laugh. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you ain't need to demonstrate, motherfucker. But it's a good thing he was a good sport about it. Yeah. Duke can
Yeah.
sing too. He
Yes, he
absolutely can.
could. Yes, yes.
Absolutely can. Oh, sorry. Here's the question.
Hmm.
Would you stay in a relationship where the sex game was strong, but the emotional connection was weak? And I'm talking about a relationship that's established, not, a new one where y'all got chemistry, but y'all not compatible. I'm talking about, look, y'all been in it. The bedroom is like the opposite of what we've been talking about, right? The
Hmm.
bedroom is still hitting, but y'all just not feeling each other anymore. Would you stay?
Um, if the other person is willing to work on it with me, like if we go to counseling or something, because I've had the good sex. I've had the great emotional connection. I've had them both in different relationships. So if I could get them together at the same time, that would be perfect for me. I don't know if I could stay in a relationship if I wasn't getting if I wasn't getting either one.
Um, I would say no, because if that emotional connection is not there, I'm not going to act right.
Hmm.
By not act, I'm never going to dog a woman out, but I'm not going to, you know me. I don't know if you know this, Tay, but I get agitated quick. And if that connection is not there, then it becomes easier to become more hard
Hmm.
and less loving to the person that you're with. And at my age, I never want to be that way with a woman. Like I'd rather just be like, hey, listen, no, we got good chemistry and this is what we do. We could be friends or whatever. But when you're in that relationship, you kind of have to try to click on almost all levels because there's a huge amount of time that y'all spending together, and you know, and I could be kind of picky. So
Yeah.
I got to have that emotional connection because when you don't have that connection, then it just becomes easier just to be like, you get to saying shit that I probably could have said that in a different way. I didn't need to be as harsh when I said that. I
Hmm.
could have checked in more. I could have done more things to be more loving towards this person. And at this age, I don't want nobody being nonchalant about me. So I don't
Yeah.
be nonchalant towards somebody else. So, I mean, nah, even if the sex was hidden, but we weren't hidden emotionally, it probably would have to fade out. And as a matter of fact, I've been in that situation. I've been
Hmm.
I've been in that situation here, within the last few years where the sex was on point. But
Hmm.
emotionally, nah, it wasn't what's good for me. So I had to let it go.
Yeah. And you know how sometimes if you have something and you know how it feels and you don't want to go backwards. So like you just asked me if Pap was open, could I go back to being monogamous? Yes. But I've been in a relationship with someone emotionally where I felt safe, where I felt like I could bring my walls down, where I could just be me and not worry about being judged, not worried about somebody using it against me later on. So I have to have that going forward. That's a non-negotiable for me.
Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right. Yep. And that's the type of discussion that I think that we bring to the table that makes Black men and Black women better.
Mhm.
And that's why I love doing this show with you, Tay. I love you, Tay, and
Love
thank you
you
for
too.
doing this with me. So tell people where they can find us.
You can find us at conVersate After Dark everywhere. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or you have a topic you want us to cover, you can reach us at CVAD the podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe. And leave us a comment.
Oh, and one thing, Tay actually listened to me one time. I think it was the first episode, and you notice there's a way that Tay signs off every time. And Tay did it. I don't know if he did it on purpose now. I said, "Hey, Tay, that was fucking awesome. Do that shit every show." And Tay actually listened to me, and she does it. But appreciate it. But anyway, um, make sure you go to our website, www.conversateafterdark.com. Check out our past episodes. Tell a friend about the show. And we love y'all. 100 more to go.
Yep.
You gonna say it?
Yeah,
Well,
I
wait,
was-
wait, wait. I got to do it right. We'll holler at you next time. Peace.
Bye.
That was